Hey everybody, tarekith here, and today I just wanted to make a short little video to show you some of the accessories I've been using with my Roland MC707, especially now that spring's coming and I plan on doing a lot more work out in the woods. I know it's been a while since I've had a video. I just moved from Seattle to Central Oregon, so I apologize for such a long delay in some of these videos, but let's dive into the new one and I'll show you some of the things I've been using with my Roland MC707. To start with, it's the control case from Magma. They build great cases, and this one is specifically designed with the 707 in mind. It's just the right size. It's got kind of a heavy Cordura outside with like some plastic or maybe like a hard foam kind of protection on the inside. It comes with a strap, handles. It's super lightweight, which I like, and it's got just enough space for the essentials to go with the 707 plus the 707 itself. I looked long and hard for cases, and a lot of the cases I found were either like way over padded and way too big or just way too minimal, and I didn't think that they would offer much protection. I definitely wouldn't check something like this, but for like, carry on, airline travel, I think there'd be no problems, protecting your gear with one of these cases. It's got a nice kind of foam eggshell panel inside to keep things in place. The second thing I like about using with the 707, as you can see here, is the deck saver cover. I know these are kind of divisive. They're fairly expensive for what they are, and some people feel that just not worth spending the money on something just to keep dust off their gear. I know a lot of people say they just throw a towel over their gear, and yeah, that'll work, but if you want your studio to look like a laundry room, by all means, go for it. Me personally, I like the deck savers. They're super durable. I think they look really nice. I have them for all of my gear that they make them for. They protect the knobs in the case. Magma specifically designed this case to let you fit a deck saver if you want. If you don't want this, egg carton foam padding will protect them well enough as well. But for peace of mind, I like these, especially, if you're like a traveling DJ or live act. A lot of times you have to set up earlier in the night before you actually perform. You can just slap this on. You don't have to worry about it bumping anything, touching anything, any drinks getting spilled on it, that sort of thing. So yeah, these are the deck saver covers. I think this one was $80 if I remember right. Not cheap, but again, I think it's totally worth it, especially if this is like one of the pieces of equipment you use all the time and if you're going to travel with it. One of the other nice things about this control case is an extra compartment for all your items, power supplies, headphones, cables, things like that. I know I mentioned that I want to start working on some 707 music outside, and I know a lot of you are wondering, well, how are you going to do that without power? And that brings me to probably my favorite accessory for the MC707, which is this little adapter made by a company called Birdcord. And I'll link you to the exact one in my description of the video. But basically, it's a USB power adapter. So this end is exactly the same as the stock PSU for the 707, and this is just a regular USB-A adapter. So you can plug this into your laptop, or more importantly, you can plug it into a power bank. Like you use for charging your cell phones, iPhones, cameras, things like that. This is the Nightcore MB10000, definitely my favorite power bank. At the time, it was the lightest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank available. I use this backpacking, bike rides, and it powers a 707 just fine. So one cable, a power bank, and I get full power in my 707. I haven't tried to actually run it down to zero, but I've gotten at least 4 hours of power on this, which I think is more than enough for like an afternoon in the park, or it doesn't even have to be outside. If you want to just sit in, on your backyard or on a patio or a deck or something like that, and not have to unplug all your cables and things. Just a simple power bank, this cheap little adapter, and you're good to go. One of the other things I use for recording my 707 in the past, and some other live pieces of gear, maybe you saw my OPZ live set from backpacking last summer, was a Zoom H4n Pro. It's a decent unit. It's easy to use. It's got some TRS, and mic inputs that work really good. It's fairly heavy. It's kind of bulky. And the most annoying thing for me with this is if you use large smart media cards, SD cards, it's really, really slow to boot. With like a 32 gigabyte SD card, it can take like 2 minutes to boot up. And I just got tired of that. So recently I just purchased this. This is the Sony PCM A10. I primarily got it as a handheld recorder. It's absolutely tiny, as you can see, but it's also got a line and mic input on the side, so that I can go from the line outs on the 707 right into this little unit and record my sets to share later. This little recorder is nice. It's got a little slide out USB adapter, so you can just plug it into your laptop to transfer the files or charge it later. And I get about 15 hours of battery life out of this on one charge. I'll probably do a full review of this later on because I've actually been pretty impressed with it. So it's nice for traveling and these little excursions in the woods, quite a bit smaller and much, much lighter. So again, this is the Sony PCM A10, and I'll probably do a review of this soon. And then the other thing I bring with me, as you would imagine, is a pair of headphones. These are, I use IEMs almost all the time when I'm traveling or working out in the woods. They're just lighter, smaller. These are the Shure SE846s, which are probably overkill for this kind of thing. They're about $1,000. I've had these since they first came out. I absolutely love them. I've actually spent time mastering professionally with these and had excellent results when I was traveling and all my gear was in storage. So for making music in the woods, it works great. My mixes translate. I have no problems with them. But again, they're expensive. It's overkill. I'm not saying you need to get these, but some IEMs are really handy compared to like over-the-ear headphones. If you like IEMs, nice and small, easy to carry. Yeah, no complaints whatsoever about these. So anyway, that's just some of the stuff I've been using with my 707. As I mentioned, I have a new live set I'm working on. It's all sample based this time. My previous live sets were all on the 707. We're all using the stock drum kits and the internal synth engine. This time I wanted to mix things up a little bit and choose strictly samples. I did kind of deviate from that a little bit with a few synth patches here and there by mistake. Late at night, start working and forget to use samples instead of synths. But I'll go into more detail about that once I get it all recorded and posted. I'll do the walkthrough again and show you like how I laid out the set, how I organized things, and go over some plus and cons of using samples on the 707. But for now, that's some little toys you can get to go with your 707 if you're going to be traveling or just moving out and about in the woods to make music. I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, as always, put them in the comments and I will answer them as soon as I can. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.